everybody. Welcome back. So, okay, we're at home. You have arrived. It is like early evening. It's just getting dark. I think Rin, you probably get there around the same time because you have a lot of running around to do. But
Yeah,
Makaria and wait an hour. So, yeah, I think that the two of you get there. It doesn't matter to me who gets first because it's pretty close. It'll be within a few minutes, I think. So yeah, who wants to have arrived first? Makaria and 8, maybe?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you get back to the house and find that it is I was gonna say abandoned, but it's not exactly abandoned. It's just it is as it was when you left it. There's no evidence. There's no evidence that Rin or anybody like arrived like without you. Like you're here and no one else is here in your home. Yeah. So you get back and you are home, dilapidated and beat up though it may be. That is it. You are home. So what do you do?
Well, they're not here. So
we think this is a bad sign.
There were cultists. I didn't see their corpses, so that in itself is a good sign. Oh, speaking of corpses, can you help me with something? There's a carriage outside. I need some help unloading.
I was wondering about that.
Yes. I forgot about it.
Uh-huh.
I suppose so. I don't want too long to think right now.
Great. If they got out and were captured by cultists, then they would be at the Castle Lanterns or a cult headquarters of some kind. If they got out and they were not captured by cultists, maybe they were going for help. In which case, I guess the Blackstaff for Scray?
That would make sense.
Who else does... I mean...
8, you see in the twilight outside, you see a figure approaching your house.
Yeah, I like go for my bow and then I'm like,
Yeah, and that's good because as they get closer, you realize that it's Rin, and that she is returning home alone.
Oh, you're alive.
Like push open the door to the "oh, you're alive." I'm like, what? Both of you managed to get out. Where's Jewel?
I thought you might know that. You don't?
I saw her run into the cultists, or at least heard the...
Well, then she's probably with the cultists.
Well, I thought you'd both been burned to a crisp, so...
No, the dragon and I are good friends. I don't know their name.
Right.
In fact, they said they never want to see me again. But I would assume that doesn't extend to all of you. So...
Okay, well, then Jewel is still missing. And so this, and I like produce the letter I've been given by the Blackstaff, still needs to be sent. When I thought we weren't going to come out of that very favorably, I went to go get more powerful help. And I was just coming to...
You sure you didn't just run away?
I assumed that it would be better to be able to rescue than it would for us all to just die and no one know where we are.
Right. So it would be better if you remained alive.
I trust myself to go get help. I don't trust you to do anything. So, like, enough. Jewel is still missing. Time is of the essence. You know, like, turn upstairs. Like,
Well, so I
going-
mean, like as it stands right now, 8, you're like standing in the door. Do you get out of the way so that Rin can come inside?
Yeah, I just like look down at Rin, not moving out of the way for a bit, and I just tip my head ever so slightly to the side. And he's deciding whether to like trust you on that, trying to get rescue, as opposed to that's the convenient reason that you've given after the fact.
I mean, I have proof that I went to go get help. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a letter with a stamp on it. It's nothing yet, but yeah, I mean, I think there is this tension of like with 8 at least, like, oh, these biologicals just like abandoning me at every turn. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. Eventually just moves like sideways, so you've got some room to get through the door.
Yeah. Though I guess if you're going upstairs, you can just leave, right? You can just turn around and like, oh, I'm going upstairs.
I guess. Like, I'm gonna go send this, and hopefully we'll have some help in the next
Send
hour or
it.
two. Yes, because I can't go back to the yawning portal right now because the Zentarum tried to ambush me when I went there to deliver Bonnie, who is still alive, by the way, back to her appropriate location.
What do you mean ambush you?
I mean, detain me until they decided and figured out what was going on. And I thought perhaps they weren't the best help for getting any of the gold for us or for the city. So I didn't tell Davil exactly what was happening, and I got the hell out of there. If you'd like to go back and do whatever it is you want to do, then feel free. But at the time, I didn't think gang leader was as good of help as powerful wizard.
Well, you wouldn't. So you do intend to just hand all the gold over to the city?
I don't care about the gold anymore. I just want to get Jewel back.
So why does it matter if the city gets it or if Davil does?
Well, you can go tell him, I guess. But I was busy trying to rescue both you and 8 and Jewel from perhaps the death that you were experiencing currently. There were more pressing things on my mind than to explain the situation to every goddamn person who wanted to stop me and talk about it.
So upset. Well, I would assume that Jewel, since her corpse did not litter the grounds in or outside of the dungeon?
You didn't see her on your way out?
No.
Okay, then she's definitely captured somewhere or being interrogated. I don't know.
So either at the Castle Lanterns or in some sort of cult place. What do they call them? Headquarters?
Do you think she was similarly attempting to access
I
rest?
honestly cannot speak to Jewel's motives. I can't.
Then why should I care?
Because we've been working together this long, and I thought we would want to help each other. I wasn't abandoning you. I was bringing help back to make sure that you survived. People that can bring things back from the dead. The kind of power that I don't have, and that being there wouldn't have helped.
Well, I believe you.
And so I will trust that Jewel's motives were equally as benevolent for now, until she is safe. My friend, a person who we have been in many death-defying situations together with since we met, and it's just best to rescue her first and ask these moral questions after. If you want to disavow her and move away and never talk to her again, and she doesn't deserve your loyalty, that's fine. It's not up to me. I just want to make sure she isn't dead or worse.
So how do you suggest going about that?
Well, first I'm going to send this letter, and after that I'm going to wait for who shows up. That's the first thing.
Well, then I'll have a nap, I guess.
By all means! Turn.
Yeah,
leave,
outside, upstairs.
Fucking actually doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. So Macaria, it would be a bit awkward if you were to just go upstairs with her. So you might have to wait a moment, and then Rin goes upstairs,
You know
and then
what
you
the
can
best
follow.
way to sleep is? It's passing out from being too drunk. So, I mean, I'm already in the bar.
But the bar's not stocked. You don't have any booze.
Do I have any more booze?
No, you have nothing.
You don't know what I have in my inventory, okay?
You're not the kind of character that carries around booze in their inventory without drinking it.
I carried around some, and I think I drank it all. I kept track of it, but I do think I drank it all.
Correct.
Yeah, the wine's gone. Why is the wine always gone? So yeah, I probably turned to the bar like, well, I'm not gonna go after her, and then like rummage on the shelf where I left my wine, like, you know. Oh, fuck. I'm going to the yawning portal. I'll be back. Maybe. Probably. I'm gonna go get some alcohol.
You're going to the yawning portal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just standing by like the window, looking out. It just totally ignores you.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So Makari, you head out. Rin, meanwhile, upstairs. So you go up to your room.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the Raven friend is here, to deliver this letter for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's here.
And so she like before she opens the door, still like kind of angry. She doesn't want to like slam it open and start this whole thing like in an anger position. There's a moment like outside her bedroom door where she's like, like, and then she goes.
Excellent. Yeah. Everybody, all three of you should have inspiration now, if you don't already. Because I always forget to give it out because I have high standards.
High standards.
I just expect so much from you. Okay. All right.
And I like see the Raven sitting there in their usual spot and go, afternoon. I'm hoping you might be able to do me a favor. I know I asked something of you earlier, but I have something else for you that I think would be very important. And I trust you, of course, with this important task. Like, just sort of orating this to this Raven. I mean, I probably should have cast Speak with Animals first.
And it's just kind of like looking at you.
But I'm like talking, then I'm like, oh, right. Like, you know, do the spell and then say the same thing, basically.
Is it a ritual?
No, you can cast it as a level 1.
Yeah.
Oh, you're at a level 2 spells, right?
I'm at a level 2s, yeah.
Okay.
So then I repeat my flowery words.
Yeah.
And offer out the letter. And I say, I need this delivered to the Yawning Portal Tavern, very popular. Lots of people go there. In that direction, on the cross. Right, like I can't see the map.
Right, you don't have the Waterdeep map, but you know where it is. You've been there a million times. Yeah.
I give appropriate directions.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, the man that you're looking to deliver it to is short blonde-haired with a beard, armor, sort of a little square-faced.
He looks like he got hit in the face with a shovel real hard more than once.
And a very flat nose.
Yeah, like just a face like a brick wall.
His name is Meloon. Not that will matter to you, I don't think.
Oh, it's the elven word for friend. Meloon.
So I give the letter over.
Okay.
Hoping that this all works out.
Can you make a persuasion check for me?
Sure thing. I'm gonna use that inspiration I just got because I really don't want this letter to go missing. That would really suck. 21.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just roll something. Okay. All right. So you hold the thing out, and the Raven like looks at it, like carefully, looks at the sigil of the black staff on it. You can see yourself reflected in its glossy black eyes.
Personally, I've always found in the beak, not the claws, best for paper.
Yeah, and then it like scoops the letter up, which is quite light, And lest we forget, ravens, like I always forget because I see crows all the time.
They're
and so
big motherfuckers.
yeah. So in my
Yeah.
brain, when I think of ravens, my brain is just like crows, right? And I'm like, no, ravens are like this ass big. They huge. So yeah, this is no trouble. So yeah, it scoops up the letter and flies out the hole in the wall that would be a window if it had shutters. Yeah, and flaps off into the distance. Cool.
So yeah, she's just like, okay, well, hopefully he'll know what the deal is.
Okay.
Fall bird back or whatever. And I go back downstairs to where 8 is.
Okay.
If 8's still there.
Okay. All right. So 8, you are downstairs in the common room, alone, or so you feel. What are you doing?
I think they are like looking. They've got one of the like broken tables and the weaver's kit out,
Mm-hmm.
where they were making things for the house. They just like got them out on the table, then standing completely still, doing like the sentry's rest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like looking at these half finished bits of just like silly cross stitch embroidery to like hang up, like the Home Sweet Home one that they made.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're just out on the table, just standing there.
Okay. So you're staring out the window or whatever, and you hear noise. You hear a clattering sound, and you turn and you notice that like an empty, like a broken cup, like just a piece of debris because it's around, has fallen off the table, seemingly on its own, and it's just you see it like lying on the floor.
Yeah. Watch it for a second, see if it moves again, and go over and pick it up.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk over to it, and you're a little like closer to the like stitching that you were doing before, and you see where you like left the needle in the cross stitch. Maybe it's like in part of the second word, like home. It's on the M. You see the needle like pull itself slightly through the thing and like pull up on its own, and then go back and stick into the stitching.
Oh. Not the only one with that hobby, I suppose.
The table rattles slightly.
Well, you are welcome to keep it, and the rest. I don't know if I will be needing it much in the future.
In the hearth, the fire starts. Just like starts to burn. The room is suddenly bathed in like warm light.
Oh. I see what this is. But I thought it would be different here as well.
Over on the bar, you see a rag that is sitting in the corner slide back and forth across the bar, like cleaning dust off of it.
This plane has no need of creatures like me. Perhaps it would be better if I returned.
So your sword is like in its scabbard, right? Just like hanging from your waist.
Yeah, I'd probably put it down, actually.
You set it down? Okay. All right. It lifts off of wherever it was leaned against the table, floats over. You just see it like kind of dancing through the air, floats over to the hearth, and then sit on there's two hooks over the hearth, and you see it just like clunk, get placed over the fire.
But perhaps, even if I were to return, it would be the same as it was. Simply a tool, not making decisions for myself.
So if this is the table where you're, say this is the table where your stitching and stuff is, this seat right here, you hear it like skid across the floor as it's pulled out away from the table.
Yeah. Eight sits down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose being able to make the choice, even though it's harder, is still better. Fine. I will give them another chance.
You feel a hand pat you like reassuringly on the shoulder. Here in the kind of, now that you're sitting over here, you can feel the warmth from the hearth. And yeah, you feel this like pat on your shoulder, like it'll be okay. Cool. All right. So meanwhile, Makaria, you head out into the streets, and you are, as you said, are you heading to the yawning portal? Okay. All right. So by the time you get there, it's full on like nighttime, basically. The sun has set. It's a nice summer night. There are people all like hanging out in the streets outside the yawning portal, talking and laughing. And there's this like just group of people, and and you approach, and the warmth and light from the inside spills out into the street, and we get a long kind of shadow cast by Makaria as you kind of push past some of the people and go inside. Cool. All right. You find yourself in the yawning portal. It is a raucous environment as always. There is singing going on in the back. There's some music playing. There are bards. The tavern loop, the 16-bar tavern loop is playing. Yeah. So what do you do?
I go to the bar. Who's the bartender?
Durnan sees you and he tries to walk away before you get there. Tries to pawn you off on someone else.
I, on purpose, go in the direction that he's trying to get away from me.
Right. So he's trying to go to the end of the bar and then into that room, into the back where you were before. You want to like cut him off? Okay. All right. So yeah, you like push through there and you like get to where he is, and he puts his hand on the door and he looks up at you, and he just does this. He makes eye contact. Then he looks at the sign on the door that says employees only, and like starts to push the door open like, fuck you, I'm getting out of here.
Does he really think that I'm going to pay attention to a sign on a door?
What do you do?
If he's like literally going through the door,
he basically looks at you like, don't bother me. I'm going back here and you can't follow.
No entry.
Come on, Durnan. All I want is a drink.
Or do I'm a sign, not a cop.
Don't make me tap the sign again. He says, is that all you want, Makaria? A drink? And then what? Another? And another? And you didn't care who you hurt, do you? Poor Bonnie. You came in here and you gave her promises of gold and freedom, and instead she got hurt chasing your dreams.
I'm sorry, Durnan. Bonnie has free will, and she decided to linger.
Aye, she should have known better.
I told her to stay with us so we could protect her. She decided not to. Is it truly my fault that she was injured? You should be glad she's not dead.
He squints at you and he says,
I'm making the assumption that she's not dead.
You've got a strange way of thinking, Macaria.
That's not a compliment, I take it.
He shakes his head and he says, if you want a drink, and he gestures at the bar. He's like, just ask. You're not paying me to talk to you.
Guess that's true. Well, don't mislead Bonnie into thinking we didn't have any intention of paying her. The gold is still down there.
And he shakes his head and he says, life's worth more than that gold. I don't think she'll be following you anywhere in the next little while.
She doesn't need to be there anymore, I don't think. Maybe she does. You know, I really can't be sure. But we'll make sure to not go through you then. I'll just go to the bar.
You do that.
And when I go to the bar, I said, Durnan told me I could just ask for a drink. So here's me asking.
The bartender shakes his head like, he looks down again at the little picture of you under the bar, like, no free drinks. And he just shakes his head like, hell
You
no.
really can't fault me for trying. I'll have whatever's cheap and still drinkable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take the money off.
Okay, yeah. So you get a drink, and you drink it, and you just hang out at the bar.
Is, because Rin said that Davil was here. Is Davil still here, or is he gone?
He's gone. Yeah, you don't see him around.
Okay, well then, yeah, I would just drink, and then once I'm drunk enough, I would go back. If
Okay.
he's not here.
Yeah. So you're however many drinks you think it takes for Macaria to get drunk, reduce your amount of money by that. And yeah, you get up to leave, and you're seeing double because like you turn around, you see a table, and you see like two dudes with like curly red hair, and you're like, is that one dude or? Then there's four of them, and there's two, and you're like,
I think this is stronger than what I usually drink. You never told me you had a twin, Floon.
and Floon turns around, and so too does Renier Neverember, and Floon says, well, what do you mean? This is precisely how we got into this mess in the first place. I didn't see you sitting over there at the bar, Macaria. If I had known, I would have invited you to join us. Come, have a seat.
Don't lie to me, Floon. I know you don't like me.
And Floon's like, for the right price, I like just about anybody. Besides, you saved Renier, so I have to afford you that.
Speaking of Rainier, do you know where he is?
And Rainier is like, one of the Floon illusions, like, wait, they're moving separately now. And Rainier's like, hello, Macaria. Right here. You're like looking over.
I'm very drunk.
And he nods.
Did you know that your father has a dragon in his employ?
He blinks a couple of times. I'm sorry.
Yes, your father employs a dragon. A very shitty one. I mean, it's not like it's mean to me.
I'm sorry that my father's dragon was mean to you, Macaria. That's a shame.
Yes. I need you to tell him to give me. I need you, Rainier, to tell the dragon that he can fuck off.
I'm afraid I don't understand. Maybe, Macaria, we should have this conversation tomorrow when you're feeling a bit better?
No. It's of a matter of urgency.
And Floon's like, yes, Rainier, let's hear her out. Volothamp once told me, in Wino, Veris something or other, but drunk people tell the truth. and perhaps
the
Macaria's got some wisdom we could plumb from her before she goes.
Flynn, the adults are talking, sweetheart.
Flynn's like, you're a teenager.
Yeah. But Rainier, are you busy later?
Rainier's like, yes, quite. Why?
I just asked you. I just want you to tell the dragon that he can fuck off.
Make like a DC 20 persuasion check.
Okay. I'm not using my inspiration.
You know what you can have advantage because Floon's like, yes, we should go with the drug crazy person and see whatever wacky adventures we get into. Just say you get kidnapped by the Zentarum.
No.
Okay, so Rainier's like, Floon, Macaria, I've had more than enough adventure. Thank you. Best of luck with your dragon. I really should be going. Excuse me.
Can you just write me a letter?
And he's like, I'm sorry, Macaria.
Just like
Pardon me. And he like kind of like pushes you aside, like, okay,
no.
honey.
I
And
have a napkin.
and he's in one of the Floons has disappeared into the crowd. And the other Floon, I think he's gonna make an attempt because he's like, oh, this Macaria is getting boring and not fun anymore, and he's gonna try to turn around and also vanish on you.
I grab his face.
Okay, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
I need to find Floon's character sheet. He's not super great at this. Okay, you got an 8. All right. Okay, so you turn and you grab a face. You grab your shirt's Floon, and then it like kind of slowly like resolves, and you're holding the ebon jowls of a dark elf. He has long, beautiful, like well shampooed white hair. He has a green cloak that's like lined with fur, and on his belt there are 2 beautiful jeweled scimitars. And you just turn around and you just grab this guy by the face.
You're not fun.
He says something to you in Undercommon.
I know Do I know Undercommon? I know Undercommon.
You speak Undercommon?
It's on my fucking list.
Okay. The closest translation is it's fairly deferential because Undercommon is like rooted in Drowic, so he uses like a kind of a gentle like admonishment that he would use for like a child, but like a respected child. And he says, "Please stop touching my face."
Yes.
You hear a growl and you turn and there's a giant cat, like just a huge black cat. And it's curled up like under a table nearby and it just like growls at you.
My hands. I thought you were someone else. I say it in Undercommon, but I have the worst fucking accent of like anyone. Like it's barely intelligible with my drunken slur. Like,
yeah. And you're like, I thought you're someone, and you like kind of the room spins a little, and then he's gone. And where you're surrounded by strangers, everybody, and this is the scene that's like filmed at like 10 FPS, so it's all blurry and wobbling around, and you just see all these faces, and we get like people at the table like like drinking with like wine pouring on their face, and like all of a sudden you don't feel great, and like the room's spinning, and the music is like wobbling in and out.
I feel like I am properly drunk to go to sleep, and so I might or might not get to the door before I pass out and maybe puke on myself.
Okay, all right. So Macaria, like, do you want to make a Constitution save to see if you make it home or if you wake up in an alley?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea.
Okay, all right. See how you do.
I
critical fail.
Alley.
Cool. You fall into the.
She gets like 2 steps and then passes.
I fall into the yawning portal.
Okay. All right. So you say everything's swirling around you, and we see you pass out. And this is the steady cam shot, right, where you're like the actress that is playing Macaria will be wearing like the harness camera, so that when you fall, the whole room tilts sideways, and then you like fall down. We see, because you're unconscious, we see from your point of view, we see a pair of boots big heavy like guard or knight boots. There's like a rattling of chain armor, and we hear a voice say, "Well, what's all this? Poor thing." And we see someone wearing like armor and a cloak pick you up and carry Makaria off. So, Rin, what do you do after you send the message? You wait?
Yeah, I mean, I go back down to where 8 is.
Okay.
And like visibly a little more like, okay, the task is done, like relaxed. Hoping that this assistance will come to us, because like I can't really go to the yawning portal and meet them. That was the whole point of sending the letter.
Yeah. So when you come downstairs, I guess you see you come around the front and you come back in and you see you see 8. And what is 8 doing?
Yeah, I'm back to the sewing. We'll go full circle on that as an imagery.
Okay.
Pull up a seat. The fire lit itself.
Oh, I guess our bartending friend has been hard at work. And I pull up a seat like nearby to you, like across the table or something. And I say like, I didn't mean to snap about things earlier. Just wanted to get things done and moving. I'm worried about you.
I understand. I suppose it was sort of my fault anyway. Though, in my defense, a totally reasonable tactical decision based on the circumstances.
I tried my best to dissuade that whole situation after you made that mistake, but there wasn't much for it.
Why would a good aligned creature be skulking around in a treasure vault belonging to a criminal?
That is a very...
I think I was in... There was a very small chance of that going badly.
That's a very good question. I agree. I think, it all just went a little sideways, and there's not much for it now but to continue from here. Did any of the cultists make it down to the vault?
I don't believe so. It looked to me when I awoke.
And the Black Viper? Did she?
They took her somewhere. Right. Plenty of drag marks.
Probably
there were not many left.
Probably a similar place to where Jewel is then. Castellanter Villa seems like the most likely, but maybe they have a bolt hole somewhere else. I don't like the idea of a friend being in unkind enemy hands. It's not a comfortable situation.
What this does afford us is justification for breaking into the Castellanter Villa.
Well, my thought is that I want to see what this fellow Maloon War Dragon, the person who I sent the letter to, can do for us. He's aligned with Force Grey in some way, and with Aja Safar. She can't help us personally, but she trusts this person implicitly, so I thought that was best. The thing I would do second is maybe tell the guards, our friend Blastwind, and what's the other one?
Oh, that's no fun.
So I forgot what alignment you were for a second, Rin, and I was like, only a lawful neutral character thinks it's a good idea to call the cops. Then I checked your character sheet and I was like, yep, there it is. It's so good that like maybe we should just get the cops involved. And I was like, that seems like, oh yeah, you're lawful neutral, of course, yeah.
There was a moment where I was like, I could take this doppelganger to my former master and then be like in the clear to get some help and trade for this unconscious doppelganger. But that's not very lawful. So I'm not going to.
Wow.
But yeah, so I think it's just like a little bit of conversation between 8 and Rin, like just sitting waiting for hopefully this letter or like even the Raven to return back.
Yeah.
I mean, ask it what happened.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to start off a long rest.
Yeah. Just kind of like try to hang out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, like maybe like an hour later, you, I guess, 8, you see somebody coming towards the house again. You see a figure approaching the house. They're wearing a like a light cloak with a hood on. The hood is up. It's dark. They don't appear to be armed that you can see.
That doesn't look like a Macaria.
No, they're walking in a straight line, and don't seem to be wobbling in any direction.
I like stand up and get ready in case this person like busts through the door with a sword or something.
Okay.
Wait.
The cloaked figure approaches the door. The door.
State your business, interloper.
Where do you say this from? Do you like stick
Just
your
like
head
in
out
the
the
dark.
window?
Yeah, just out the window.
Because there's no windows. You just like lean out. Okay. Yeah. The cloaked figure at the door turns and looks, and she looks just like a person, like a citizen of Waterdeep. She's wearing like a regular tunic, kind of dark gray. Her cloak is black, and yeah, she looks up at you and she says, "I have a message for the inhabitants of this house."
I am one of those.
Right. Well, then this is for you. She reaches into her cloak. Can you do
And
anything?
she pulls out a knife.
I mean, like, I just want to give you an opportunity. So she's reaching into her cloak. Do you want to do anything? She's like, well, then this is for you.
Last time that didn't go well. Let's not like wait until the action resolves.
So Rin, do you put your hand on 8's arm? Like, don't lose it here.
Yeah, it's like
It's
we'll be okay.
one of those situations you expect 8 to be twitchy, but it's like, what are they going to do if they stab me? I'm made of metal.
Yeah, they're not really in stabbing range, but yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you going to do? Stab me? Last word.
Yeah, last word. Man who was stabbed. So she takes out a letter. It's a folded letter. It looks sort of familiar, Rin, actually. It's not the same letter, but it's, you've held one of these very recently. It's a folded letter with a sigil stamped on it, and she holds it out to you.
I like take it and open it immediately to like read.
Yeah, she gives you a little curtsy and she's like, "Good evening," and then walks away.
Wait, never mind. Like go back to.
So the letter, it's a folded piece of like very, very nice like linen paper. And the stamp on it you recognize as and I can't remember. I remember we described it earlier as being something really weird, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. It's the sigil of House Castellanter, right? It's their personal sign.
Yeah, it's got something weird in it. I remember us talking about that. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Like a Y or something?
Yeah, it's like a Y and like a goose, I think, maybe, or something. They really like foie gras at House Castellanter.
The letter reads, "I prepared explosive roots today."
Yeah, so you have this letter. Do you want to open it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So inside, in like beautiful calligraphy, in like reddish black ink, basically it says, "We have your friends. If you ever want to see them alive again, bring us all the gold in Never Ember's vault, and we'll make an exchange."
Macaria is not worth that much.
And then it has
Just letting you know.
"We have your cat." And it has like the Castellanter, like the sea. And to add ominous effect, as soon as your eyes finish reading the last line, the whole thing bursts into flames.
I was just about to hand it to
Yeah, bursts into like flickering hellfire and like consumes itself.
Green flame.
Yeah, right. Like totally sick pyrotechnics, and it turns to ash.
So I turn to 8 and I go, "Well, the castle enters have our friends, those who are missing, confirmed by the letter.
Yes. Then we can kill them.
Or get all the gold, but I don't see us doing that.
I don't think the dragon likes me.
To be fair, I didn't really have time to talk to the... Anyway, it doesn't matter. I guess we'll have to come up with a plan. Wait for the bird to come back, and hopefully the help that I sent for. Talk to them, then look for other options. We're going to need help if we're going up against the castle hunters. More than some, a lot.
I think when you say that, when you say we're going to need help if we're going to deal with the Castellanters, that's when we cut back to Macaria. So Macaria, you are waking up and you hear the sounds of the tavern. You can hear the sounds of the yawning portal, but they're like at a distance. You can hear like it's got a high pass or a low pass filter on it. I can never remember which. But you're hearing them through walls, whatever. And yeah, your own terrible headache. And as your vision sort of starts to clear, you realize you're tied to a chair. First of all, and across from you, somebody is sitting on another chair. You can see he's wearing like a breastplate. He has like a gray tunic. There's an enormous two-handed sword leaned up against the wall, and the door is shut, and there's like a chair jammed under the door handle. There's also, as you look around, as your vision starts to clear, there's like a you can see there's like a bed and a like an armoire, and you're sort of starting, and you can hear the music and you're starting to come to. But this person has like a letter in their hands, and they seem to be reading it. You see that as your vision starts to clear a little bit more, you can see that this guy has a face like a brick wall. He's got a big flat nose. He's got a beard, blonde hair, and he's reading a letter.
Okay, if you were into bondage, you could have just asked. Get me drunk first.
So you're awake, Mercolite?
Yeah. What's it to you?
I found you unconscious downstairs.
Not uncommon.
I think I've seen you in this place once or twice. With your friends. And when he says friends, he kind of like shakes the like letter at you.
Also not uncommon.
So this would make you Macaria, I guess. He like looks at the letter and looks back at you.
You have me at a disadvantage. I do not yet know your name.
I think having you at a disadvantage is fairly easy to come by.
Ouch.
And he just raises an eyebrow like, that's how it is.
Well, what's with the... She like jerks at her bonds, like...
Drunk or not, you're a priestess of an evil god. I can't have you just walking around in my room. Now, maybe you can explain something to me, priestess. This letter, he like shakes it at you. It says here that my friend Vajra Safar needs me to help Rin, 8, Jewel, and your sorry carcass. Something about Lord Neverember?
Your friend Vajra Safar. You have very important friends.
Well, some of us know better than to hang around with Davil all the time.
I don't hang around with Davil that often. He's really not a fan of me, I don't think.
Is anyone?
Merkel, I assume.
That's great. A dead fairy tale's your only friend.
I've been saved by dragons, you know.
He just raises an eyebrow.
And And if your friend Vajra Safar really thinks I'm important enough to need saving, then I still don't know why you tied me up. I'm actually not that strong.
He shakes his head and he says, clerics, wizards, sorcerers. I don't trust a lot of you. And he looks back at his big sword.
You know that Vajra is a wizard.
And he gets up and he says, yeah, I know.
So are you going to help me or not?
Well, it says here that I've got an imperative to keep that gold out of the hands of the wrong people. And from where I'm standing, honey, you're the wrong people. So I was thinking of maybe leaving you tied up here while I go in and do some investigating.
Well, that's no fun. I'm probably safer here anyway, so whatever. Could you leave, I don't know, like a chamber pot or something? I really have to pee.
Hang on 1/2 second. I'm just checking something. Not that. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, no, it's an axe. Sorry. It's not a huge sword, Dave. I'm sorry. It's a big axe. Yeah. It's a huge axe. It's a huge blue axe.
He's going to ask you all the kinds of questions you want to know.
That's right. His name is Melun Wardragon, but he's really Paul Bunyan because he's got a huge blue axe.
Ox.
Yeah, as I said, an axe. So he gets up and he looks at you and he says, I think you're just going to get in the way of what I need to do. And he picks up his axe.
But please, I really would rather not piss myself in your room. They might make you pay extra.
He shrugs. He says, seems to me like we got a whole dragon's hoard worth of coin to pay for whatever trouble you get into.
Seriously, you're just going to let me sit here tied up for who knows how long?
And he stares at you, and I need you to make an insight check for me.
Okay. Where's my insight? It's under I, probably. 12.
So you're used to just talking shit and
All the time.
being obnoxious.
Yep.
But there's something in the way that this dude stares at you. Like he turns and he looks and you get a chill. Like something in the way he stares at you, you're kind of puts you off. Like you feel your heart skip a beat slightly.
Please.
And you're gonna need to give him a better reason than just asking nicely.
I spoke with the dragon. I could help you. I don't care about the gold.
Bullshit. Everybody cares about gold.
I don't care that much about the gold.
He squints at you. Shakes his head and he says, you're too unpredictable. And he turns, he takes his axe, and he walks outside. He pulls the chair away from the door. You can make a persuasion check if you have something more than please. Reason he should take you along.
Can I instead make a sleight of hand check to get out of these bonds?
You can wait until he leaves to do that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he takes the chair out from the door, moves it aside, puts his axe on one shoulder, walks outside. You hear the door close. You hear keys jingling. There's a click. And then you hear him thunk, 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 walk away.
He starts squirming.
Yeah, and so Makaria, we're gonna take our last break here, and when we get back, we can find out if Makaria can pull a Houdini, by which I mean escape from her bonds, not get punched to death. The other thing Houdini did.
Both?
Both? I don't know. Maybe. You only want to be
one followed by the other?
Yeah, you only want to be Houdini right up to a certain point and then not after that. So stick around.
He's the one that was telling people to punch him in the guts all the time, right?
Yeah, right. So we'll be right back with the conclusion of today's episode. Do not go anywhere.